I'm a rich heiress, basically a pampered princess of a powerful family. I spent 3 years building my boyfriend up into a Best Actor winner. That day, it was his first love who presented him with the award. She asked him, "Do you have any regrets left unfinished?" Right in front of everyone, he offered his trophy to her with both hands and smiled. "I promised you something once. Now I've finally done it." Every eye in the audience turned toward me. Even people online were speaking up for me, calling him an ungrateful leech. I just smiled faintly and quietly pulled all of Emilio's resources. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Why would I waste my life on this one guy? Chapter 1. I got photographed when I accompanied Emilio to the award ceremony. The media worked fast. By the time I entered the venue, the notification had already popped up on my phone. Rich heiress princess locked in a 5-minute car makeout, rising star completely drained. The comments flooded in. Wait, what? Who wrote this clickbait headline? Is this even real? Not gonna lie, that title alone makes me want to read it. Oh, it's Alicia and Emilio again, right? Emilio, being chosen by the princess is your blessing. Honestly, these two are kinda sweet together. Sweet? Emilio's just a kept man living off her. Over the past 3 years, Emilio and I had been photographed together more than a few times. First, because I couldn't be bothered to disguise myself just to go on a date. Second, because Emilio clearly wanted to be seen by the media. After all, I was basically a walking headline. Being my boyfriend brought him more attention than acting or variety shows ever could. I knew he wanted fame. From the very first day we got together, I saw the ambition in him. I even asked him about it once. Back then, he held me close, looking at me with deep affection. Because I want to stand at the same height as you, not be the man standing behind you. I like men who are ambitious and who know how to express what they want. So over these 3 years, I poured in a lot of resources and pulled countless strings for him. From the moment he debuted, he had access to opportunities others might spend years fighting for. And he didn't disappoint. In just 3 years, he won the Best Actor award. Chapter 2. The girl presenting his award was named Veronica, a rising young actress who shot to fame 3 years ago with a hit historical romance drama right after her debut. She had that soft, sweet, adorable look, and even when she said Emilio's name, her voice was gentle, almost tender. There was something lingering in it, something affectionate. Emilio stood up and walked toward the stage. I have excellent eyesight. I saw his hand hanging at his side curl slightly into a fist. And the way he looked at Veronica, there was an emotion in his eyes I couldn't quite define. A woman's intuition told me something wasn't right between them. After taking the trophy from her, he stood so close to her, barely a fist's distance apart. During his acceptance speech, he said, "I've finally reached a height where she can see me." Some cameraman, clearly enjoying the drama, projected my live reaction onto the big screen. Before the crowd could even start cheering, Veronica asked, "Then, do you have any regrets left unfinished?" The next second, he suddenly turned sideways, offering his trophy to her with both hands. His gaze deep and focused. He said, "I promised you something once. Now I've fulfilled it. I have no regrets anymore." The audience erupted, especially since all 3 of us, him, her, and me, were displayed right at the center of the stage. No matter how you looked at it, it was a full-blown emotional battlefield. Chapter 3. That was when I finally understood why he had been so desperate to make it big. Because Veronica had already become famous 3 years before him. He had been chasing her all along. And now, he had finally gotten what he wanted. The price? Using my feelings as a stepping stone. Just earlier, in the car, I had asked him, "If you really win Best Actor, what will you say on stage?" What did he answer me back then? Oh right, he cupped my face and said, "Of course I'll thank my dearest, most beloved wife. I'll even light up the whole city with fireworks for her." I took out my phone from my bag. I found Veronica's social media account and searched for the keyword fireworks. Very quickly, a post popped up. "If one day I can stand at the very center of the stage, I'll light up the entire city with fireworks." Below it was a comment, "If I were the one standing at the top, I'd give you a city full of fireworks." Posted 4 years ago. I didn't even need to guess who owned that burner account. How damn romantic. If I weren't Emilio's girlfriend, Chapter 4. I left early. As I turned around, I caught a glimpse of Veronica looking at Emilio with tears in her eyes. Sometimes, I really hate how sharp my eyesight is. It lets me see every bit of filth so clearly. The moment I got into the car, another notification popped up. Newly crowned Best Actor sneaks around with young beauty, rich heiress leaves with a dark expression. It even came with a photo of the three of us at the ceremony. I have to admit, the media is impressively efficient. In just a few minutes, they had already dug up the entire love triangle. That was when I found out. Emilio and Veronica had been college classmates and dated for 4 years. After graduation, they broke up. The media claimed Veronica dumped him after catching the eye of a wealthy sponsor. Then later, Emilio caught my attention and his career skyrocketed. The headlines wrote, "Secret lovers defy sugar daddy's fury. Courageously choosing love," and the spiciest commentary, "Burning bridges for love, shattering a wealthy dream just to make up for past regrets. Shameless." Since the ceremony was broadcast live, countless viewers witnessed the whole scene unfold. The comment section exploded. "Can I swear? What the hell is Emilio made of? How shameless can he get? Making his girlfriend leave with a dark face in public? This guy is next level ridiculous. Which village's pig is he from to be this full of himself? I used to look down on him for living off a woman, but I genuinely shipped him with Alicia. And now you're telling me it was all an act. No wonder you won Best Actor, played both the audience and Alicia like fools. Oh wow. Regret bro. You sure are full of regrets." I checked their accounts. Veronica talked about fireworks. And Emilio promised her fireworks. Regret bro and fireworks sis. Pack up and get out of the entertainment industry. Wait. Emilio didn't even say anything that bad. Why is everyone overreacting? Exactly. Is this Alicia's paid troll army? How much per comment? Count me in. A lot of people online could see things clearly, but there were still plenty of brainless fans defending their idol. They argued with strangers in the comments like I was some all-powerful capitalist who could control everything with a snap of my fingers. Of course, this scandal shot straight to the top of the trending charts, just as expected. Chapter 5. Hashtag regret bro. Fireworks sis hashtag. Hashtag Emilio publicly confesses to Veronica hashtag. Hashtag Veronica's youthful regret hashtag. These hashtags completely dominated the trending topics from the award ceremony. Good for him, so bold. Wasn't he? Very quickly, a file was sent to my phone. Back when I suggested finding him a place to live, he had immediately named that specific residential complex. Turns out, it was because Veronica lived there. 3 years, over 1,000 days and nights. I don't know if he ever deliberately arranged chance encounters with her, but just imagining him pretending to love me while secretly going to see her from afar, it made my chest ache with anger. Since when has Alicia ever suffered this kind of humiliation? Being treated as a backup option, spending my money, using my resources, all just to make up for the regrets of his first love. Chapter 6. Emilio's agent called me in a panic. "Ollie, have you seen the trending topics?" I let out a quiet Half the internet was cursing me. The other half was cursing them. The chaos was deafening. And yet, the ceremony had long ended, and there wasn't a single response from Emilio's account. Some of his fans were already defending him in the comments. Come on, it was Alicia who used money to humiliate Emilio, okay? Exactly. Look at her status. Maybe she was just playing around. Why can't our Emilio date someone? Emilio and Veronica are the real visual match. Okay? Cool. Aloof guy and cute. Sweet girl, straight out of a romance novel. Yeah. Seriously, who doesn't go public when they're dating? Not going public was Emilio's idea. The first time we got photographed, I suggested we might as well make it official. I didn't care anyway. It would save us from constantly being chased by paparazzi. But Emilio said his popularity was still low, and he didn't want people to think he was only getting opportunities because of connections. More importantly, he said he didn't want me to be wronged or judged by others. He told me that once he had the ability to protect me fully, he would give me a grand, official announcement. Back then, I couldn't bear to see him being criticized, so I agreed. At today's ceremony, I deliberately appeared with him. I was simply waiting. If he really won Best Actor, it would be the perfect moment to reveal our relationship publicly. I didn't expect that I was just a piece in their little game. Ollie. His agent continued. Emilio just called me. He wants us to say this was all for hype, like promoting a new drama. Shipping them together. Do you think that could work? Shipping hype? He really had the nerve. So what, use a new project as an excuse? Then date each other openly on the company's dime? Did he really think I was an idiot? I replied coldly. Use the company's account to post that Emilio's personal statements have nothing to do with us. After that, no more responses. And one more thing, stop managing him. Cut off all his resources. Chapter 7. At 11 p.m. I saw Emilio in the house we used to live in together. There was still lipstick smeared at the corner of his mouth, not fully wiped off. I didn't need to guess what had happened. When he saw the small suitcase I had packed, he froze for a moment, then came up and grabbed my hand. I can explain. I let out a cold laugh. Explain what? Explain how you played me like a fool just to make up for your regrets. If I had arrived a little later tonight, would I have seen your kid already on the way? Ollie, it's not like that. Then what is it like? You two were just hyping a ship, right? And I'm the girlfriend who had to be humiliated in public? He swallowed. No, today. I really just wanted to put an end to a regret from my youth. From now on, I'll treat you well. I shook his hand off. You're really something, so devoted. Letting the whole world witness your wish come true. Should I applaud for you? There's nothing between me and Veronica. Oh, so I have to catch you in bed together before you'll admit it? Ollie, don't make it sound so ugly. He frowned. The one I love is you, not her. So I'm supposed to be happy about that? I picked up his things and moved to throw them out. Emilio grabbed my hand tightly. Don't go, okay? I broke free and tossed the suitcase outside. These are your things. You're the one who needs to get out. He stood there, stunned. The next second, Veronica appeared at the door. I glanced sideways at her, her face flushed. The lipstick on her lips smudged. She clearly hadn't expected to see me here, but she still looked at Emilio and said softly, Emilio. I just came to ask, does that promise still count? Chapter 8. I actually laughed out loud and even clapped. Trash really does stick with trash. Huh, girl. Coming all the way here this late to pick up leftovers, working this hard. Emilio will be living off a woman in no time. Throwing yourself at being the side chick. Don't you think that's a bit of a waste? Veronica's eyes instantly turned red. She looked at me pitifully. I didn't even say anything. Miss Alicia, why do you have to humiliate people like this? As she spoke, she cast a wronged, helpless look at Emilio. I laughed. This is humiliation? Looks like Miss Veronica's tolerance is just as small as her brain. I already spared you some dignity, but I'd suggest growing a brain instead of letting everything go straight from your mouth without passing through one. At this point, you're still thinking of relying on a man to back you up? I've heard of foot binding before, but today I finally learned some people bind their brains. Fascinating. Truly fascinating. Veronica's face flushed deep red, and her tears streamed down like they cost nothing. At that moment, Emilio stepped forward and stood in front of her. Alicia. Vero is clumsy with words and timid. What happened today is my fault. I'll take responsibility for it. You don't need to take it out on someone else. I scoffed. I thought that thing on your shoulders was just there to make you look taller. Turns out you actually know you're trash? Let me guess, you're not even human. Just some alien in disguise. Because anything remotely human, you don't do a single thing right. Using my resources to chase women. Offering borrowed flowers to Buddha if they built city walls with your level of shamelessness. Not even cannons could bring them down. Veronica tried to speak again. I cut her off immediately. Do you ever just chill? Or is drama your full-time job? Then I looked at Emilio. Take your little mistress and get as far away from me as possible. One more glance at you two and I'll have nightmares all night. Emilio looked at me with a dark expression. Ollie, I'll prove to you with my actions that I love you. Then he grabbed the suitcase and left with Veronica. As they walked away, I could still hear Veronica whisper softly. Emilio, how did you endure all these years? My heart aches for you. I rolled my eyes. Spare me your fake sympathy. Chapter 9. After they left, I glanced down the hallway. Stop hiding. Come out. Eric stepped out from the shadows. I shot him a sideways look. If you don't want to get dragged into this, you can get lost too. I rushed over because I was worried you'd be upset. Have some conscience, will you? I rubbed my temples. I'm fine. You can go. He pouted arrogantly. Did you mute my messages again? I sent you so many texts. Did you even read them? I gave a casual You talk too much. It's a waste of my eyesight. He instantly exploded. Hey, we grew up together. How can you say that to me? I shut the door in his face. Bye. Not seeing you out. I picked up my phone. Sure enough. Tons of messages. Half of them were from Eric. The last thing I sent him was, "Get lost." And he replied with a whole screen full. Why are you telling me to get lost? Are you worried I'll get tired from walking? Boo-hoo. I love you even more now. My baby. Even though my heart has shattered into a QR code. If you scan it, it still says I really like you. Last night I saw our childhood photos. Then I went through your entire social feed. I noticed you replied to others but not me. Just thinking that you treat me differently makes me smile under my blanket like an idiot. That broke boyfriend of yours is so annoying. Unlike me, I've got no exes. No messy past. Only you in my heart. So, want to give me a chance? If not, it's okay. I'll ask again next time. Pathetic puppy mode. Ever quit drugs? How do you resist not texting your bro? 8-pack abs, V-shaped waist, deep voice, dumb but rich. My vision went black for a second. I seriously considered blocking him again. But if I blocked him, he'd probably run straight to my house and cry to my mom for 3 days and nights, complaining that I forgot my best friend after getting a boyfriend, and then he'd send even more messages. Forget it. No need to create trouble for myself. So I turned off my phone and went straight to sleep. Chapter 10. The next morning, I called for cleaners. I didn't even want to stay in this house anymore. Unexpectedly, the person who showed up was a young girl. Yawning, I said, "What's this? Is the competition so intense these days that even young girls are competing with aunties for cleaning jobs?" She took off her hat and pointed at her face. "Ollie, don't you recognize me?" Seeing my confused look, she introduced herself. "I just signed with our company. My name's Hannah. I've seen you at the company. I really like you." When Hannah smiled, her eyes curved into crescents, and she had little dimples on her cheeks. Being praised like that, I cleared my throat lightly. She grinned brightly and continued. "Actually, there's another identity. Those reports you saw before? I wrote them." I remembered those dramatic clickbait headlines. No wonder she had laid out everything between us so clearly. She had even called Emilio and Veronica shameless. I raised an eyebrow. She chuckled and pulled out a camera from behind her. "I also work part-time as a paparazzi. I caught something yesterday. I think it might be useful to you." Ollie. I glanced at it. Just as I expected, yesterday. The two of them had secretly kissed in a spot in the complex without surveillance cameras. And last night, Emilio dragged his suitcase straight to Veronica's place. After that, they closed the curtains, so I couldn't get more. She added, "You came here on purpose to find me? What do you want in return?" She shook her head quickly. "I just like having multiple skills. Sis, let me tell you, I can act, write news articles, edit videos. Being a paparazzi or a cleaner is just one of my many ordinary side gigs." She leaned closer, her fox-like eyes sparkling. "So, Ollie, want to support me a little? I'm capable, obedient, sweet-talking, and I don't mess around in relationships." She added, "And you don't have to worry about scandals with me. Saves you a lot of trouble. Men might break your heart, but not me. I'll only care about you." Sister Ollie. I'll admit it, I like people who are sweet talkers, especially ones who are both pretty and sweet. Back then, at the company, aside from Emilio's matters, I didn't bother with anything else. But now, I suddenly didn't feel that way anymore. Such a cute girl, how could I not support her? It's not like I'm short on money anyway. Chapter 11. The moment Eric found out I was going to support Hannah, he was the first to object. He practically debuted on the spot. He angrily sent me a message. Fine. If you liked celebrities, why did I even bother all this time? Since this is the world you want, I'll just debut myself and support myself, no living off anyone. Want to take a look at me instead? Stop looking at that little fox spirit. I wondered who exactly he meant by little fox spirit. Hannah spoke up faintly. Surely he's not talking about me, right? I'm this cute, I've got nothing to do with foxes. Seems like young Master Eric isn't very broad-minded, always making Ollie worry about him. Unlike me, I never cause Sister Ollie any trouble. Sister Ollie, want to sleep together tonight? I can tell you stories, I promise you'll sleep like a baby. Honestly, no woman can resist another obedient, sweet woman. Chapter 12. I immediately started supporting Hannah. At the same time, I instructed the company to stop interfering with Emilio entirely, just freeze him out. Finally, he couldn't hold back and made a public statement. He claimed that the award ceremony incident was because he and Veronica had taken on a new drama, and that scene was part of the plot, they were just promoting the show. That explanation managed to calm down his brainless fans, but more people online kept criticizing them, saying, "So you're promoting your show by turning the whole world into part of your script? That's some nerve." Especially since the media had already dug up their college relationship, yet he still refused to admit it. In the end, someone hit the nail on the head. Men are practical. Emilio just didn't want to lose the resources I gave him, so he didn't dare to come clean. Emilio's agent came to my office to ask what to do next. She probably thought that since Emilio made that statement, maybe we had already made up, so she wasn't sure whether to continue cutting off his resources and came to ask for my opinion. I thought for a moment, then replied, "Stick to the original plan. Freeze him out. If he wants to terminate his contract, he can pay the penalty." She hesitated a little. "Ollie, you're serious, right?" To be fair, I had once set up an entire company just for Emilio, solely to support him. Only later did we start signing other newcomers and expanding into other business. No wonder she thought this was just a lover's quarrel. But this time, I made it very clear. From now on, just focus on managing Hannah. Just as I was about to check on Hannah's magazine shoot, Emilio barged in. Chapter 13. I've already made a clarification. Ollie, don't be mad at me anymore, okay? Emilio was dressed like a college student today. I used to like that style on him, so now he was trying to use that handsome face to make me nostalgic. I let out a cold laugh. We've already ended things. Why would I throw a tantrum over you? Who do you think you are? He bit his lip and tried to walk over to hug me, using his usual trick to soften me up. Ollie, I didn't handle things well and hurt you. There's really nothing going on between us. Can you trust me this one time? I dug at my ear, not even bothering to listen. Of course not. Do I look like some gullible fool to you? With that, I stood up, ready to go find Hannah. But that girl beat me to it and walked in first. Seeing Emilio there, she exaggeratedly widened her eyes. Oh my God. Emilio! Dressing this young, are you going to act out your first love storyline with Veronica? But I didn't hear anything from the agent about you getting a new project? OMG. Emilio, don't tell me you're about to terminate your contract with the company. Well, your fans are always trash-talking the company and my dear Ollie anyway. If you really leave, I'll totally support you. After all, you never care about Ollie, unlike me. I only have eyes for her. I came straight back after my magazine shoot. Didn't waste even a second. Hannah's sarcasm was on another level. I smiled faintly. Emilio's face darkened. Chapter 14. That day, I took Hannah to a charity gala and ran straight into Eric. He hurried over, a strand of hair bouncing as he moved. I knew you'd be here. Then he looked around. You didn't bring that guy, right? I rolled my eyes. I'm not a recycling center for trash. Eric visibly relaxed, breaking into a grin. That's good. Then I'll sit with you. Hee hee. Just as he finished speaking, Hannah popped out from behind. Young Master Eric. Ollie brought me here today. Eric's face instantly fell, his voice rising. You brought her again? Wah. Young Master Eric is so fierce. Hannah whimpered softly, collapsing into my arms. Ollie, I didn't do anything to offend him, did I? He always seems to dislike me. If I'm making him unhappy, I'll leave right now. Eric immediately exploded, pointing at her with a trembling hand. I suggest you speak like a normal person. I let out a sigh. These two, every time they meet, they argue. so I had no choice but to press them both down into their seats, one on each side of me. Chapter 15. When I went to the lounge during the intermission, I unexpectedly ran into Emilio again. It had been a while since I last saw him at the company, even though he had won Best Actor. Without any follow-up resources, he looked rather worn out. I hadn't been going to the company, nor was I staying at our old place anymore. I had also blocked him, so it wasn't easy for him to find me. I had instructed the company to stop managing him, but not to terminate his contract. If he wanted out, he'd have to pay the penalty himself. I may have sincerely supported him before, but I'm still a ruthless capitalist at heart. After a breakup, you take back whatever you can. This charity gala hadn't invited him, so the fact that he showed up meant he must have pulled some strings. Ollie, do you really have to be this cruel to me? I raised an eyebrow. Who are you again? He suppressed his emotions, a hint of grievance in his eyes. Ollie, don't be like this, okay? The way you're treating me, it feels like my heart is breaking. What kind of cringy nonsense was that? I didn't respond, and he continued dramatically. Can you give me one last chance? From now on, I'll give you my life. So the melodrama didn't work, now he was trying the I'll give you my life act? No wonder he could say things like that at the award ceremony. There was clearly nothing sensible in that head of his. I couldn't even be bothered to respond. All I felt was irritation. He wasn't as entertaining as Eric, nor as sweet and thoughtful as Hannah. How was I so blind back then to fall for him? Seeing my silence, he thought I was wavering. He stepped closer. You never used to ignore me for a whole day. When you saw something fun, you'd buy it for me. If you found good food, you'd take me with you. You took me to see the world. By the end, his voice even choked up. At first, I thought you were just playing around with me, but I didn't expect to really fall for you. But now, you don't even look at me anymore. It feels like my heart is shattering. Are you with Eric now? Chapter 16. I took a step back and let out a cold laugh. Emilio, so you do remember how much I favored you back then? Then when you slapped me in the face in front of the entire world, why didn't you think about today? He swallowed. What, were you possessed? Or were you eating from one bowl while eyeing the pot? Or did you think you were capable enough to make two women fight over you? Where does your confidence even come from? Before I could finish, a figure rushed forward and shielded him. Veronica pointed at me. Don't think that just because you have money, you can humiliate people. I'll pay to terminate Emilio's contract with you. Before I could even respond, Hannah's voice cut in first. You call this humiliation? Ollie, please, feel free to humiliate me instead. Then came Eric's voice. Well, regret bro and fireworks sis. Finished setting off your fireworks already. And now you're acting here? If you two aren't at the Oscars, I'm not even watching. For once, those two were actually on the same side. I smiled slightly. Perfect. I was worried no one would pay the penalty, since Miss Veronica is so generous. Come speak with our company's lawyer tomorrow. With that, I grabbed Eric and Hannah and turned to leave. Chapter 17. That very night, I received a message from Emilio, sent from a different number. Do we really have to end up like this? I didn't reply. The next day, major news outlets started reporting that I was a heartless capitalist, exploiting Emilio, cutting off his resources and deliberately freezing him out. He demanded to terminate his contract. See? For two people whose brains were filled with nothing but romance, this was the best they could come up with. Trying to use public opinion to get out of the contract without paying. Looks like Veronica didn't care that much about him after all. Meanwhile, a lot of people who used to ship them were now telling them to just get married on the spot, and even started giveaway campaigns to celebrate. Many others were cursing me as a ruthless capitalist, accusing me of controlling Emilio's life and telling me to get out of the entertainment industry. What a joke. We're not even in the same circle. Hannah immediately raised her hand. Let me handle it. I've got evidence from that night. I'll write a headline so explosive it'll grab everyone's attention. Eric lowered his head, fiddling with his phone. I'll contact the media right now, pull down that trending topic and push our clarification to the top. Since things had already escalated this far, there was no reason for me to go easy on him anymore. Very quickly, a headline titled, Emilio sneaks around girlfriend to hook up with Veronica for 20 minutes, 50 consecutive kisses. Appeared in the public eye. These were photos Hannah had taken that day. I hadn't wanted things to get this ugly, so I never released them before. But since that ungrateful leech insisted on going this route, then he shouldn't blame me. The comments exploded. That headline alone snapped me out of my work days instantly. The editor even counted the kisses. This level of dedication leaves readers speechless and the people involved in tears. Disgusting. Fans still trying to defend this? Emilio cheating and Veronica being the mistress. Solid evidence. LMAO. If I had Alicia's money and resources, I'd behave myself. This guy really wants everything. Too greedy. Are Veronica's fans still saying the one who isn't loved is the real third party? Don't be ridiculous. While the buzz was still rising, another headline dropped. Emilio spends the night at Veronica's place, intense battle lasting 24 hours. This one made things even clearer. I thought that was the end, turns out it was just the beginning. Editor. Come work at UC tomorrow. This editor deserves a raise. They closed the curtains. But after all those kisses earlier, there's no way nothing happened. Emilio. If you want to terminate your contract, pay up. Chapter 18. The situation escalated massively. In the end, Emilio had to use all his savings, plus money from Veronica, to terminate the contract. That day, I was at the company. As he signed the papers, he gripped the pen tightly, the corners of his eyes red. Ollie, if we could start over, would you still choose me? Yes. I'm a sucker for good looks. His eyes lit up, but I continued. But it wouldn't be for a relationship. After everything that happened with him, I finally understood. I have money, power, and looks. Why bother with love? Isn't it better to enjoy life freely? The light in Emilio's eyes instantly faded. He let out a self-mocking laugh. At least, you did love me once. I rolled my eyes. Just sign the papers. I didn't want to waste even a second talking to him. I don't know when I gave him the illusion that I didn't like him. Or did he really think I was insane, raising someone to the top without feelings? His mistake. If he was going to deceive me, he should have done it for a lifetime, not rush to test my sincerity in such a humiliating way. Whatever. I still have Hannah to support. Chapter 19. So I arranged for Hannah to appear on one of the hottest variety shows right now as a guest for a single episode. She was funny and quick-witted, perfect for making an impression and getting the audience familiar with her. When Eric found out, he insisted on tagging along. The kind of insistence where he'd throw a tantrum if I said no, like a child. I had no choice but to squeeze him into the show as well. In the car, Hannah spoke softly. Young Master Eric is so willful, insisting Ollie send him personally. When she offered to send me, I even declined. I was worried she'd be too tired. Alicia is so kind, it really makes my heart ache for her. Eric was about to explode. He looked like a lion with its fur standing on end. You little manipulative pick-me girl, trying to drive a wedge between us? Don't think my Ollie can't see through you. She's an expert at spotting girls like you. Just wait for your termination notice when we get back. Hannah tugged on my hand, looking pitiful. Ollie, did young Master Eric misunderstand something? I'm only concerned about you. Why is he being so harsh? Is it wrong for me to like you? I patted her hand and shot Eric a sharp glare. Can you shut up? You have a problem with everyone. If you see a stray dog on the street, would you argue with that too? Wait. How can you? Eric started. Flustered. I quickly cut him off and patted his head. Calm down. You're going to be on camera too. Instantly, he straightened up proudly and shot a smug look at Hannah. His temper completely soothed. Honestly, these two are really hard to handle. Chapter 20. During the variety show recording, the host asked everyone if they had someone they really liked. Eric, being his usual attention-seeking self, immediately jumped in. Of course I do. We're childhood sweethearts. We've known each other since we were kids. Just say Alicia already. You think we don't know your alt account is called Alicia's Puppy? Childhood sweethearts for the win. Eric, don't worry. I'm shipping you two for sure. Got it. You ignore me today. I'll still come looking for you tomorrow. Signed, Eric. When it was Hannah's turn, she raised an eyebrow and glanced at Eric. Then she said straight to the camera, of course I like Ollie. She's so beautiful and so cool. Anyone who doesn't like her must be the dumbest person alive. LOL, she's clearly throwing shade at Emilio. I'm dying, regret bro really threw away amazing resources just to go set off fireworks for someone else. Daily question, have the fireworks gone off yet? Girls supporting girls, low-key shipping this. Ha ha ha, is no one noticing she's provoking Eric? This is hilarious. The camera swept over to me, and I just smiled lightly before heading back to the hotel. But when I woke up from a nap, I saw Hannah trending. Hashtag Hannah browsing history exposed hashtag. Hashtag Hannah lost a game hashtag. These hashtags shot straight to the top. I clicked in and scrolled through the comments. Ha 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 ha, how is this any different from embarrassing yourself in public? I'm dead. Turns out female celebrities read web novels too. Was it Spoiled Darling, The Substitute Bride Runs Away 999 Times, or Obsessive Prince? Stop hurting me, the princess is already married? Girls. Hannah's tastes are complicated, hard to explain. Just go check it yourselves. Hard to explain? I scrolled further. The titles that came into view were, After a Rebirth, the junior sister becomes the domineering senior sister's favorite. After becoming the fake heiress, I end up in a happy ending with the real heiress. The rich little princess falls for a manipulative pick-me girl. My silence was deafening. The trending page was buzzing. Oh my god, what did I just discover? The rich little princess falls for a manipulative pick-me girl? Hannah, why don't you just leak Alicia's ID at this point? 1 second she says she likes Alicia. Next second she drops evidence. This is a sneak attack on Eric. Wait, if we're talking about this, I'm wide awake now. 1 minute, someone give me the details of this novel. Wrong focus. People. Dominant cool beauty times cute girl? I'm raising this ship's flag first. The rainbow is beautiful. Chapter 21. Before the last wave even settled. Another one hit. And of course, Eric had to stir things up again. He directly tagged me on social media. Wah. I don't care anymore. I just like you. Stop looking at other people. Then I opened my phone. And sure enough, there were his messages. Me, who would willingly be a dog? What kind of nonsense is that? But if you just say the word, who's my good puppy? I'll immediately go woof 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 woof, charging, sprinting, doing the splits on the spot to show my loyalty, wagging tail, beating up other dogs, bruised and battered but still wagging tail. Wah, it's not just other dogs anymore, a little fox has appeared. I feel the crisis. Baby, why aren't you replying to me? Are you treating me like air? People can't live without air. Doesn't that mean you can't live without me either? Wah. How could that little fox spirit Hannah compare to someone as devoted as me? Don't look at her, okay? When have I ever suffered like this? Fighting a woman over another woman. The public feed was in complete chaos. Eric, this puppy boy is so lovable, Alicia. Please spoil him a little. Honestly, why not have both? Alicia, it's not like you don't have extra rooms at home. In my lifetime, I get to witness drama like this in the entertainment industry. I can't even focus on my finals anymore. LOL, same. I've been jumping between the 3 of their accounts for 4 hours straight. I've said it before, monogamy forever. Wait, I've never seen anything like this. Can I join as a spectator? Chapter 22. That made things complicated. So I made a third choice. I posted. For now, I just want to focus on my career. The revolution hasn't succeeded yet. I still need to keep working hard. And then, I signed Eric to my company too. After all, why let the benefits go to outsiders? Eric might not be great at acting, but his dancing and singing are genuinely solid. Growing up in families like ours, you're basically trained in everything. So I sent him to a street dance competition show. His performances were sharp, explosive, and incredibly stylish. He quickly attracted a wave of fans drawn to his looks. On top of that, his personality was great, full of humor and quick comebacks. Many of his remarks on the show went viral. Netizens even gave him a nickname, the Explosive Little Lion. As for Hannah, she became the company's rising star. Cute with a hint of allure, far more versatile than Veronica ever was. On top of that, she had ranked first in her major. Her professional ability spoke for itself. She was grateful, emotionally intelligent, and easy to work with. So within just 1 year, she broke through with a low-budget sweet romance web drama. In the following years, I secured her several big-budget historical romance dramas. Every single one of them became hits. She officially rose as a top young actress. Meanwhile, Veronica, whose acting niche overlapped with Hannah's, had no roles in recent years after the scandal with Emilio. Later, I found out why. She had offended her own sponsor. She had originally been a kept canary of a powerful backer, hoping to secure a proper status. After arguing with him, she tried to provoke him by getting involved with Emilio. The result? The backer dropped her immediately, found someone younger, and cut off all her resources. In an industry flooded with newcomers and with her questionable character, after a few years without work, who would even remember her? As for Emilio, he had spent all his savings to gain his freedom. But this industry is brutally realistic. Money, resources, connections, those are everything. Best actor? So what? There are countless Best Actor winners every year. Who does he think he is? I heard that he and Veronica have been living quite miserably. And honestly, the worse they're doing, the happier I feel, especially when the Hannah I supported, after 3 years of hard work, won the Best Actress award. At the ceremony, she looked at me in the audience, smiled, and raised her trophy. Of course I have to thank my dearest Ollie, the best person in the world. I love her so much. Ollie, muah. Even the host looked a little flustered and reminded her to tone it down. She winked at me again, then glanced provocatively at Eric sitting beside me. See? I won first. Was Eric the type to stay calm? Of course not. When it was his turn to perform, he acted all flashy on stage, making heart gestures at me, even blowing me kisses. Hannah let out a cold laugh. The same old tricks every year. I'm already bored of them. I snorted. When Eric came off stage, I pulled both of them into a hug. The revolution is finally complete. Let's go home and celebrate.